Hey there folks, today we're going to be working on a 96 Ram 1500. Got a couple of the things already prepped. So, going to be working on this back glass here. Got a sealant issue. We get water keeps pulling up. Coming from the top. The sides not so much, but the top definitely. Then, come around. As you can see, still got a little bit of residual water. It's been raining down. But yeah, it starts coming from this entire back section all the way across. And kind of a bother. Makes it colder in the winter times and wet inside when it's raining outside. So I'm going to try to fix that up and hopefully walk you guys through it and help you out if you decide to do something similar. In this video, some things you're going to need: trim pry bar, which is going to be useful towards the end of the video regarding the placement tabs, chisels, flathead screwdriver, putty knife, you'll see later on there too, scrapers if you're removing what I'm doing for today, or a wire wheel, depending on the situation and depending on if you don't mind scratching up the paint on the inside. That's going to be covered by the gasket. Disinfectant wipes, paper towels, masking tape if you're planning on taping off the area and doing it really nice like, and we'll also be using it for marking later on regarding the tabs, and you'll see there. Today we're going to be removing my first attempt, which was the yellow super weather strip and gasket adhesive. This, for the particular project I got going on, did not work. Just the problem with it was the density of the product itself. It's just super runny, just didn't really uphold, because I am filling a 1/4 inch to about 3/8 gap, and this is what I was recommended after that, which was the Windo-Weld super fast urethane. It has a higher density, just a lot more volume to it, and it is more like it's a caulk base, so I should be able to get a lot more out of it as opposed to that, which was just super runny. And a caulk gun. So this is the issue we got going on here. As you can see, that just pries right out. Doesn't matter where it's at, this whole seal, it all pries out. So if you're doing this the proper way, what you want to do is be gentle with these tabs if you have the possibility. So you're going to have, basically it's just a metal tab that sticks out, and then you fold it in over the interior metal to kind of hold this in place, and that's really all that's holding this and the gasket in this back window. At least for my truck. I don't know if that's with all ones, but this is a work truck. As you can see, she ain't pretty, but she starts up every time, so that's kind of why I want to take care of her. As I said, so you got those push tabs that are back here. When I made the other video, I tightened those up and purposefully left this one just to see how that gasket maker would hold. And as you can see, it didn't hold for anything over on this side. So what you'd want to do is just pry those out. But coming over to this side, and some of it did a good job sticking. Not all of it, but some of it, and that's how far. So that's that yellow gasket maker. Then these are those tabs. So you'll have one in the middle, directly middle again, and same thing. You're gonna have one on each end, and all it is just a metal tab that creases over and holds that in place. Yeah. So if you come and look at that, it is just, it's like glue, essentially, is really what it is. It's a gasket maker. Unfortunately, that was not the case with this one. Like I said, it's stuck, but that's me even pouring all the way across, and still only that side stuck and this side didn't. And I even had, well, I'll show you here in this video what I'll do. I had it strapped pretty tight up against there so that, bonding shouldn't be an issue. but apparently it was. And then if you come here, same thing. And then if you come on this side, so that top, as you see, I made sure to bond that whole top, and nothing on the sides. So obviously it didn't make contact whatsoever on the entire sides, or a little bit over there, but that's about it. So now we're gonna have the fun part, cleaning all this, which, as you can tell, is not gonna be fun, because this stuff is supposed to be like very good, but it's about to be a real pain in the ass to clean that, especially with that entire groove all the way around. So we'll see if we just end up wire wheeling it, or if we'll do it the slow and painful way. So this is kind of the mess you got going on here. You got a chisel, give it a couple of sharpens, get it nice. If you got a fancier truck, I'd recommend probably using some type of bonding adhesive, or a debonder, or some type of adhesive remover if you want to go that route, but you're probably going to hurt this paint either way. If you're going or just doing the OEM, this is about the thickness and the gasket that's going to look like in there. What I would do is, my situation was, I just grabbed it from the corner, pulled it up, and it came out in 2 pieces. So if you're lucky that it's that easy, good for you. Otherwise, you'll probably have to do a little bit of prying, a little bit of elbow grease. But for the most part, mine is a different situation, a repair of a repair, or a cleaning of a repair. And this stuff, it's pretty crappy. It's like gum on here, which, like I said, if it was used in the right setting, it probably would have worked, but with this situation, it definitely didn't. So now I'm going to clean this up and we'll get back to it. Alright, now that we got all that clean, which was a pain in the arse, as you can see all that, it's literally what it's like. It's like peeling paint off of stuff. So once you get that going, take a paper towel or your alcohol wipes, wipe all that down, get your paper towel, and do the same thing with the actual glass piece. Like I said, this one was barely anything on it, just these little, I haven't really got to that yet, but the same thing, clean it off, wipe it down with a paper towel, get a clean surface, then on to the next step. And just wanted to put out another tip. So what I recommend you do is, for these bottom tabs, get a pre-bend on them, something roughly about that much on the whole set of the bottom ones, and then give yourself basically just a dry fit, where if you're working by yourself, kind of grab it, position it how you plan on doing it, just because it's a lot easier to do it when you don't have caulk and silicone all over the place, and then pulling it back, putting it back, pulling it back, and trying to get your grip, or sticking your fingers where you didn't plan on sticking them, or however that goes. And then yeah, just get a pre-dry fit in here, install it, see how it fits, make sure that you have the right bearings if you're planning on doing it by yourself. If you got another person with you, it's a lot easier, but since I'm working by myself, got to do a couple extra precautions. Alright, so just off the rip, I can tell that this will hopefully be a lot better than the stuff before. Well, better. It is the black kind of tar, so I'm just going to do the basics. Do about a 1/4 inch spread all the way around. Pack that in, and And just another tip too, like I said, if working by yourself just to make your life easier, get that masking tape or washable marker or something. Just mark out exactly where each and every one of these tabs are. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier when you get inside and you got to close them. Alright, now we got all of the caulking around. Granted, I went a little thicker just on the top just to be safe, to make sure that nothing's leaking or I don't have any issues whatsoever. Which, like I said, this already is looking a lot more like the old seal that was in here, so kind of feeling a little bit better about it. But with my situation, I don't have any silicone on this end, so just to make my hands more free and don't gotta worry about what I'm grabbing. Alright, so this is kind of what I got going on. Put a longboard at the bottom, some 4x4s up top. All I'm really wanting is just to make sure that this is tight up against here, gives a proper seal. Like I said, I moved it back and forth a few times, just bouncing it in and out, making sure it gets, kind of sticky and tacky all over. So I think this should be sufficient, but only time will tell when it rains next. I'll hopefully see if it actually works. As of right now, I just kind of have them tied past here. Yeah, I know it's not the best, but as you can see, this is not a flawless, perfect truck. It just got a couple scratches. So if you want to, you could come in and pull these tabs right now. I'm just waiting for it for video purposes to do that so that I can have a little bit better access to show you. But that'll be in a few hours, or basically 6 to 7 later hours, once this sets, and then I can open up this doors and let that actually release and then go inside and do what I need to do. Yeah, I know you can clown or hate or whatever, but this is what I got. It works. Wood on glass, like I said, this isn't crazy tight. It's tight enough where it's not moving and it's holding consistent pressure on that back plate, and that's all you really need. If you want, you can use foam pads or, get 2x4s or whatever and wrap them in blankets like these work blankets or shop blankets or whatever. I don't really need to do all that. That's fine for me. Like I said, do what makes you happy. This worked for me. Okay, so it's been about roughly 8 to 9 hours later since this has been set and placed. And let me tell you what, I am putting a substantial amount of force trying to push that right there, and nothing. And I did that all the way across from both sides. I mean, it's bonded a whole heck of a lot better than the stuff before. I mean, yeah, it's good. Supposedly the cure time is 12 hours, which I assume that's for like water purposes and things like that. But she's good right now, and we're just gonna set those tabs in. So this is where this little piece of equipment's gonna come in real handy. So since you got those marks, all you need to do is come in, basically come in and push it back over. Alright guys, anything on here below? Seat back. And then repeat the same process with all the remaining 4, and then you should be all set to go. So just got done at the car wash and no leakage. I think that's a job well done.